6.5 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock on this, the 14th day of November. Pretty much halfway through the month already. Hope you guys had a great Diwali weekend. All the curry you can eat. I don't want to see curry for the rest of the year. But anyway, good morning to you. Thank you so much. Of course, it's the hours show this morning. We just heard from Paul Richards. We'll hear from Richard Ragobarasing. We got Ruben in the mix. My name is Steve Kahn. Let's get straight into the WTs, see what's happening weather and traffic-wise. Down San Fernando first. Southland, I got nothing to tell you about. Making our way up north on the Solo, you're going to get traffic just before Freeport, heading towards Sugar Guanas, and then volume after Sugar Guanas towards the interchange. All right? Traffic again this morning is pretty much... you got volume from O'Mara towards Maloney, heavier towards Piarco, and then Trin City towards Uwe. You've got your problems, right? Eastern Mino got nothing to really tell you about. But after Uwe, you're going to get some volume by Valsane, and then clear up a bit, and then just before Swim Call is where you're going to get your traffic. Passing through Mount Hope, heading to San Juan, you've got some volume there. All right. Quickly, let's see what our weather is going to be like for today. It is 25 degrees on both islands. 25. Got some pitter-patters this morning. The road's a bit wet, so please take your time. The Met Office is saying for Trinidad and Tobago, partly cloudy conditions with light to moderate showers and a 40%, which is medium chance of a few heavy showers and or thunderstorms. This evening will be mostly fair despite a few brief showers. Gusty wind, street and flash flooding possible near heavy showers and or thunderstorms. Maximum forecast temperature for both islands today would be 32 degrees. It is 25 on both islands. Checking some temps across our listenership. It's 5 degrees in Toronto with sunrise at 7:10. It is cloudy and 25 in Miami. Orlando, you're 21 and cloudy. New York, 5 and clear. Anybody went to New York recently? Atlanta, 9 and cloudy. London, 13. Wow, you are 13 and cloudy. Of course, you're expected moderate thunderstorm warning until noon today, all right? Rain is expected to start in the next 25 minutes in London. Tampa, you're sitting at 20 and cloudy. Washington, D.C., 5 and clear. All right. Los Angeles, 13 and clear. All right. Let's who send us hellos on both our Facebook and YouTube, and of course on WhatsApp as well. All right. Let's see. First off the gate on YouTube. Let's see. Oliver Manwarren, good morning to you. DJ Ray out in Tampa. Anthony Tinto. Yep, good morning to you out in Canada. Carol Guevara, Wagwan, Garcelia, out in Baltimore, Maryland. Good morning to you. Marcia Rock, always locked on. Carol Joseph, Wendy Ann James, Mo Games, Wayne B. in Covington, Georgia. Rena Boodoo Jennings out in Pitti Valley. Yep, good morning to you. Dennis Passad, Brenda Isaac, Carol Mitchell. Good morning to you. Yes, thank you. Have a productive day yourself. Richard M. Jeremiah, good morning. Beefy Smith out in Goodwood, Tobago, good morning. Donna Leeling. Richard Duku, good morning. All right, thank you so much, guys. Let's you send us hellos on WhatsApp. But you guys got to give me your names, man. I'm just seeing a good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, gentlemen. Chris Toussaint out in Washington, D.C. Thank you, Chris. Oliver is saying good morning on WhatsApp. And I don't know what this one is. Okay. All right. We say good morning, good night to you. Paul Richards, what's happening?
Morning, Steve. Good morning. Sherwin Kerr, Richard Duku, Donna Leasing, Beefy Smith, Richard Jeremiah, Carol Mitchell, When they're Isaac, Dennis Prasad, Rena Jennings, Wayne B, Mo Gaines, Wendy and James, Carol Joseph, Marcy Rock, did I say that already? Gart Celia, Carol Guevara, Anthony Tinto, Ray Holasi, DJ Ray Oliverman Mooring, and Trinidad Margot. Good morning to you all. And everyone else.
You know, I did heal them out already, right?
Yeah, they sent
It was so good we had to do it twice. So good morning to you, my friend.
I did it much more efficiently.
Sure you did. Are you back in the land of TNT?
Back in the land of rainy weather.
Yeah. What time was your flight? What time your flight left on Friday?
On time at 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And left New York yesterday on time at noon, and got in here 45 minutes earlier.
Yeah, you always get in earlier.
I don't know how you did that. No, you don't always get in earlier at all.
Well, it all depends on the jet stream.
Well, you said you always is definitive.
No, most of the time is when you travel out to Miami and
most of the time it's not always.
I give up on you,
But you said always, it's not always though.
Well,
choose your words wisely.
90% of the time.
Well, that's a difference.
Unless you have some serious weather taking place, usually you get the jet stream coming down and you save some time. Going up, you don't really get that jet stream.
So that's fine.
We had a very nice conversation with Captain Ron on Friday morning. As he's a pilot, so we spoke about a lot of different things. So good morning to you, Captain Ron. Got a lot of calls regarding that.
So, what's happening?
Man, they shoot a guy outside the Belmont police station. The fella is really okay.
Well, apparently, and I could stand corrected, he was in police custody, chose not to be in police custody. And as he walked out, he got shot.
They're waiting for him.
You know what was sad about that video? What's really sad about it? How he just lay in the road like a dead animal, and cars are driving around him.
Yes.
It was just so sad. That's a human being on the ground there, no matter what his history may have been. Is a human being and cars driving around him, and I don't know. It's just look, this is the end of your life. I mean, depending on what you chose and the choices you made, he just is. I mean, shots rang out, and he was on the ground, and he was no more.
But that brings up the question again. There are people that get shot, people that die, unfortunately, and they lie on the road, and we have to wait for the DMO.
Yes.
And to say, okay, this person is dead. And they lie down in the middle of the road, just covered up with a piece of whatever. Why don't we just transport them to the hospital and the DMO?
Because you know the dead, and you don't know the dead.
That's why I say take them to the hospital.
Well, yeah, procedures in place for reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think if somebody had been open, they're more than likely alive.
But the thing about it, that family members appear, and it takes so long sometimes to get there.
Well, it depends on where the DMO is. The DMO don't have a transporter on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
DMO will get there when the DMO get there. But I think unless there is sign that the person is alive and maybe saved in the hospital, if the suspicion is that the person is dead, and more than likely, if it's officers around, they will check for signs of life. And if there are no signs of life, they don't call the ambulance, they call the DMO. Like if you see 6 bullet holes in the person's chest and a lot of blood on the ground, you suspect that they're no longer alive. So, but I agree that what you suggest may be the actual best way to go. You don't know if they could take them to the hospital, and some miracle may save them.
Yeah, you never know. You get an accident, you don't be lying down in the road there. and that your family members come to see you there and you cannot get close, just take them up. Take them to the
Well,
hospital.
I don't think family
No.
members will pick up people who split into one thing. Some people may be dismembered.
Yeah, we've seen that.
So you're not going to really pick up somebody who's dismembered to take them to the hospital. Anyway, good morning and condolences to his family. I don't know when they're going to get the idea, but that this supposed life of crime is not the way to go. But I think they have a different, less profound value for life than maybe our generation does, because they don't seem to care.
No, they don't.
A prison officer's car was destroyed by fire.
Mm-hmm.
He was at his girlfriend's home in Landfill. And just after midnight, he saw the car blaze. He heard a noise. Car was burnt up. I hope this is not another direct attack. Never a dull moment.
Yeah.
Let's go across to the UK now, where there's been a startling development.
Before you do that, of course, it was trending big time about that Ferrari that burnt on Saturday. Burnt to a crisp. I don't know if you saw that while you were out.
I saw pictures.
Yeah.
Wasn't particularly.
Picked up the vehicle from a mechanic, and his son was driving behind and say, called it, Dad, the back of the car on fire, and pulled over and burnt to a crisp. Insurance companies probably going, oh no. No, yeah. Heading across the pond, as you said.
Yeah, startling sort of developments, not surprising that there have been some changes to the British government, where a former prime minister is now back in the cabinet and not as prime minister. So, Suella Braverman, who I'm not surprised has been sacked. She's very problematic. Very, sounds personal, but I really can't stand her. But she was sacked, and I'm not surprised at that, quite frankly. I just think she's being a fall guy, because I think Rishi Sunak, the prime minister, knew exactly what she was going to say when she was going to say it, and he had no problem with it until the chorus of objection became so loud that he had no choice but to sack her. Anyway, former British Prime Minister David Cameron is now a government minister again. He's a foreign secretary, replacing Mrs. Braverman, who said that pro-Palestinian marchers were hate marchers recently, and had some very damning comments for the Metropolitan Police in the UK. She had to go. She was problematic a while. I'm surprised she lasted this long, quite frankly. She was really horrible. Horrible. Anyway, so Prime Minister Sunak reshuffled his cabinet a bit. He brought back David Cameron, which I don't think is going to save him a lot when the election comes up next year or next year sometime. This is like what Boris Johnson did to the Exchequer when he did something that created havoc. This is just Rishi Sunak trying to save himself because of his problematic former foreign secretary, because she was problematic a while ago. You understand? She's been problematic. She calls immigrants invaders. You understand?
Oh, I remember that.
And stuff like that. And she just has no sensitivity at all to the plight of people who are in a vulnerable position. She had to go. It's about time it took a little long, quite frankly. I used to be upset when I see her, quite frankly. So Cameron is back, and now the Speaker of the British Parliament has asked for clarity from the clerks on how they're going to hold this former Prime Minister accountable as Home Secretary. Remember, he was it's a really confusing situation. He was in the House of Lords and now I think there's some procedure where you're not a member of the House of Lords, and because he was Lord Cameron. And now he may be he'd be Lord Cameron, but not in the House of Lords, and now in the House of Commons. So it's a little confusing. So
yeah, no, they confusing me there.
He was Lord Cameron, and now he's Lord Cameron in the House of Commons. So it's a little confusing. So the Speaker of the House in the UK has said, I need to know what's going on, how we dealing with this. Good morning, Richard.
Hi, good morning, guys. Good morning to our
Hey,
listeners
Richard.
wherever you are.
I don't know how to deal with this. And he will have secrets that you can't question him on, and you can only question him on this rule, and that is rule as former Prime Minister. And can you hold him accountable for his disastrous role as former Prime Minister, or can you only question him about this new role as Foreign Secretary? And oh my God, it's going to be confusing. And you see Lord Cameron in the House of Commons, and and I feel we have problems. You ever tried?
Yeah, we have problems of a
We
different
know,
nature.
we do have problems, but I mean,
Of a
those
different
are the people
nature.
who formed our constitution initially and guided us into independence. Sir. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, you know, the English have an unwritten constitution. They don't have a written one. So
Didn't I say he was Foreign Secretary? Or she was Home Secretary? Whatever she was a disaster. Madame Braverton. Whatever she was a complete disaster. So welcome back, David Cameron. Wasn't he the one who followed Bush all over the place and mess up his own administration? And take on Bush and support Bush in the war? What's the war? Weapons of mass destruction.
David Cameron wasn't the one
He
who
wasn't the one?
shot himself in the foot in the sense of creating the whole Brexit issue for the UK.
Yes, he was that Prime Minister.
Yeah, he's the one who didn't want the British to exit and had this poll, a referendum, that he had no reason to have.
And trap himself in a situation.
Yeah, he had no reason to call that referendum that led to the British.
And then had to follow through on the result of the referendum.
Yeah. Stupid and silly.
But this is another desperate act by Rishi Sunak to me. To deflect from all the drama going on with this government. You understand?
Yeah.
So you bring back a big name-ish. You get rid of a problematic minister, because she was a problematic minister. And you create a talking point with a former prime minister in your cabinet. And now you get a little month-old talk because the British press has gone wild. You understand? As you go into an election thinking this is going to save you. No, I don't think it's going to save you. Mr. Sunak, it's not going to save you at all. You know, go ahead.
I just want to mention this has nothing to do with anything of that at all. It's just a pet peeve that came up to me yesterday. The Guanapo, I think it's Guanapo landfill in Arima. Wendell, if you're listening, is it Guanapo? Or I think it's that what they call it. I can't remember. What's the exact name? I always get confused. But that landfill in Arima is now taller than some parts of the northern range. I want you to understand what I'm saying. It's now taller than some parts of the northern range. It has now posited itself as part of the northern range. So the rest of the northern range is natural beauty and starting to give competition, and passing some of the height of some of the northern range is this landfill. And at some point, it's going to be the tallest thing. It's going to be taller than the northern range. It is shameful. It is ridiculous.
No, it doesn't have to be shameful, because I'll tell you there is a part of Halifax in Canada that I saw that was started as a landfill, but they had a plan. They had a 15-year plan. And when it got to a certain height, what they did is they went through the ecological steps necessary to seal it off. They covered it with a certain amount of soil, and then they put some drainage systems for the potential toxic runoff, because it would run off, and they put some sedimentation layers and some soil, covered it with grass, and they turned it into the most beautiful eco park ever. You understand? So,
Is that
so
what
they
they
had
say
a
is going to
plan.
happen?
They didn't intend for it to stay an eyesore forever. And now it's one of the most parents take their kids. You can go for a run around it. They have amenities, but they did what they needed to do to ensure that it was ecologically safe and added to the environment. I ain't
Yeah.
anything else the plan in Guanapo.
I don't know if that's the plan because I don't even know if there is a plan.
Dump more thing in it. That's the
I don't
plan.
know if there is a plan, but
Keep
it is
dumping stuff.
ridiculous and it's shameful because I think from most parts of Arima, if you look up, you can see it at this point. Previously, you couldn't see it. Huh? At certain points, you would see it,
But if you
depending
keep
on where you
dumping
were.
stuff, it's going to get
Now,
taller and
I think
taller.
every part of Arima, you could see it. I just think
And
it's
that's why I think
embarrassing
there's an opportunity for it
and
to become
shameful.
a positive part of the environment.
Yeah,
They're
and
just
who's
leaving
going
it
to
like that.
spearhead that, Paul? The Ministry of Local Government? Who's
Or
going to
your new
spearhead
mayor,
that? The Ministry of Planning? Who's going to
or your
spearhead
new
that?
mayor, or your new mayor.
I don't know. It is just shameful and
No, but
embarrassing.
why I'm saying it is because there's potential for that, even if there's no plan initially, for it to
And it
be
wasn't built initially. It
transformed.
was not when that dump was initially planned. It was not planned properly. And that was how it came out too in some of the things. And they
Was
were
it planned
thinking
at all?
that some of the runoff of the plant is actually going into the water courses. And there was some concern about that years gone by. All of those things have been discussed, you know.
Well, that's why I said the one in Halifax.
And it
They
just remains
took
another
all the steps to
element
make
of
sure
our
that the runoff didn't
inaction.
contaminate the groundwater supply. But I ain't ready for we so advancing thinking here.
Yeah, because there's supposed to be a bedding or something like that.
Yeah. And
There's supposed to be a
make
bedding
sure
of
that the
some sort,
water
I think,
runs off in a
before
particular
you start
direction
to dump.
and into an area that it
I
can
don't
be
think that was done.
detoxified.
I don't think that was done. So it is just shameful, and I don't know who's going to be motivated to do something about it, because I have no faith that the Arima Borough Council, and I'm being a little unfair to the current new Arima Borough Council, is even thinking about it. Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope to God I am wrong. But it's just shameful, and I just want them to know. And another thing, as we're talking about Arima, because I pushed in an Arima conversation, I know Arima, that we have this wonderful star on the hill that we used to light up, that we do light up every Christmas time. For God's sakes, buy some lights. Last year, it was quarter of a star that was lit on the hill.
Did you
Because
just say
all
for
the
God's
lights
sake?
blew.
You say for God's sake? How you managed to say for God's sake?
Yeah, all the lights blew, and there was just quarter of a star lighting up. That is the highest level of incompetence.
I agree
I don't
with
want to
that.
say incompetence, because
It's
it might have nothing
incompetence.
to do with
It's
competence.
incompetence.
It have to do with maintenance and making sure that proper lights are bought to replace the ones that were blown.
Especially if you're going to light it.
But they light it every year, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful huge star that you see from a distance. It's a wonderful tradition. And if it's a tradition, keep it the hell up. That's what a tradition is.
You just warm my heart, though.
What?
You just warm my heart. You said for God's sake. That means you're heading back in the right direction.
So just every year I quarrel about lighting up Arima.
I know,
for Christmas.
and the aesthetics in
Every year
Arima,
I talk about it. I don't know if this is, as it's a new council this year and a new mayor, they're going to pay more attention to it. All of these things matter. I don't know why they think these things
Yeah,
don't
they matter.
They matter.
They matter. They raise the psyche and the positive affect of the constituents. They matter.
All right, that's enough of my rant for the moment.
So, more hacking news.
Is this what
it was Republic/PriceSmart? No, it was the Ministry of Legal Affairs, Office of the Attorney General. Then it was TSTT with that disaster. I see the CEO finally apologized and said that apparently they can't walk and chew gum in TSTT at the same time. So while they were looking to secure people, they couldn't send out proper communication. And they hire a big shot, $60,000 a month, if you believe the rumors, communication expert. So while he was doing his communication, them was doing the security checks. They couldn't coordinate because they can't walk and chew gum at the same time at TSTT. You understand? So she finally apologized for the poor communication. So they phrased it as poor communication as opposed to lying. You understand? Poor communication, lying. Okay? You said it wasn't, and then if you didn't know, you should have known. And if you gave wrong information, it's not poor communication, it is inaccurate information, and it is otherwise known as lying. Okay? Anyway, she apologized. I say God. And so we will see what happens in the future. And I think the apology is not enough. They need to follow up that with telling their clients and customers exactly how exposed they were or are, and what steps they should take to manage their security of their data. It's not just about saying sorry. Okay? TSTT. And then now I got the document about courts recently, but courts said that none of their paying customers have been affected. None of the people who shopped have been affected because they changed their platform recently to a more secure thing. You know, I don't want to lie, about 5 months ago, I put up a motion in adjournment for the government to bring back the cybercrime law urgently, because I knew this was going to happen. Because I think as a country, we're taking these things too lightly. Now, to be fair, the government has a Ministry of Digital Transformation, and I think they have a competent minister in charge of that. But I think things are moving too slowly, and what we're seeing now is only the tip of the iceberg. And it's going to continue to get worse. And God forbid, take note, public utilities, they hack in to TNTech and OWASA, TSTT gone already. You understand? Or some other significant, Ministry of Legal Affairs also got hacked. Significant agency of state that puts us all at a disadvantage in some way. We are moving too slowly, and finally they get a wake-up call when they're banging them in the head. How long we hearing about working with Estonia now?
Yeah, a while.
About 7 years. How long we hear about Estonia? We have partnered with the government of Estonia to update our digital systems and no, come back. I should be calm. Good morning to the airport this morning, Airports Authority, and your
PriceSmart was also hacked, not so?
Sorry? Well, so this, yeah. Well, it was Republic Bank took responsibility for that.
No, something else besides that, because I got an
Another
email
one again?
I got an email from PriceSmart yesterday that says, and I can quote a little bit of the email, at PriceSmart, we strive to represent the best interests of our members in everything we do. Therefore, we want to share with you an important update about a recent cybersecurity event that impacted some of our internal systems. Although we have not yet found evidence of identity theft or fraud related to this event, we want to provide you with information about the event, our response, and measures we are taking to help protect your personal information. We are aware malicious actors claim to have taken data from our systems, and we have been working with leading cybersecurity experts to aggressively gather facts while working to ensure our members' data remains protected. Completing the investigation is necessary to determine the scope or nature of any incident with certainty. We will continue to work vigilantly to address any potential issues that may affect our club members. We are committed to protecting our members' privacy and are taking steps to prevent future incidents if the investigation concludes that this incident has impacted sensitive information. PriceSmart will contact affected organizations and individuals as appropriate. Please stay informed about the ongoing situation through our website. We appreciate your understanding.
Well, clearly you are a more valued PriceSmart customer than I am, because I got no such email.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if this refers to the Republic Bank incident. I don't know. It doesn't seem to me that it is. It seems to me it reads as if it's something different.
Either way, I feel like I'm a less important and valued PriceSmart customer than you are, because I certainly am a PriceSmart card holder and did not receive any such email.
Yeah, well,
I want to finish them. Let me check before I pound them.
Yeah. Do you shop with PriceSmart online, or you only go into the store?
I go into the store.
No, I do online sometimes.
But they have my credit card information, PriceSmart, because I use my credit card there. Is it that the online issue is the issue?
I probably. I do shop online sometimes.
Okay, nothing
But
in junk.
that may be why.
Okay,
If you're
so
in-store customer, it might be different. Yeah.
Then maybe they should send it to all their customers, because if people use their credit cards in PriceSmart, they may also be exposed by the hack.
So, but as I said, I don't know if this is
PriceSmart don't TSTTDC.
I don't know if this is a statement relative to the whole issue with Republic Bank, or
Maybe
this is not, or if it's not. I don't know. Or it's something new.
They're sorry. While they were working on their security issues, they've communicated poorly. Okay. I wonder if they outsource that statement or they use the in-house expensive counsel.
But you don't even need expensive counsel now. You could use ChatGPT.
AKA Camel Judges.
ChatGPT will give you a wonderful, wonderful
statement. It's very good. Extremely good.
Just copy and paste.
Well, you can edit it a little bit and put in your name, the name of your company.
Exactly. You don't need all of that.
The name of your company.
And I've been following the OpenAI developers. They've had several developers conferences. They've had two. I was watching another one last night. I don't know why, as if I'm a developer and if I understand coding, which I don't, or very limited. But I've been watching it, and it has been pretty interesting in terms of what they're rolling out. It was the first one that I know OpenAI has had since that whole ChatGPT thing. It's the first conference, developers conference they've had. Of course, it's in San Francisco, and pretty interesting. I find this interesting stuff. So I always follow all of these things.
I see Ancient Ishmael said, "We will rebuild if it is destroyed." Oh, neighbor, huh? He says the guard booth will be rebuilt if the state destroys it. The state, aka the Piaco Regional Corporation, and there was a threatening on you. I'm going to break the law again because it's an illegal construction, or we are going to. Let me not say I. You understand? And we will build it back before you break it down. And then I could do I want.
So it was a long weekend for you all. I had a wonderful long weekend. I just slept a lot.
Me too.
And
I didn't come very sleepy.
Yeah, and I didn't do much,
You ate like a pig.
Actually, I didn't.
Or was that me?
I didn't actually. And of course, when we cook on Diwali, we're not Hindu, so we don't have to keep to vegetables and vegetarian dishes. We cook meat too. But I just, those lines. I see. Who was that posted up the line? Was it Ruben?
I don't know, but there's a roti place.
No. Who I saw the post of a line? Sorry, it was David Wares. I posted up a line by Roti Master.
Well, he's a foodie, so
somewhere this was early. This was like after 6 a.m, and there was already people.
It was a concert.
Yeah. Well, there's a roti shop opposite the road, opposite the Pet Butler in Eltico. When I got there Saturday morning, it was total chaos. I actually timed a vehicle that came and parked, and then at the time when he left, he took an hour and a half.
I had Japanese food for Diwali.
I eat like a pig.
The Privy Council has ordered Austin Jack Warner to repay Krishna Lala sum of TT 1.505 493 plus interest. of course, during the 2007 election campaign, apparently Mr. Lala is a UNC financier, according to how the papers is reporting it, and provided to Mr. Warner / the UNC the money for the campaign, and Mr. Lala wanted his money back. And then at that time, Justice Frank C. Prasad ordered the money paid back. Mr. Warner appealed, I'm presuming, and went to the Privy Council.
I went to the Court of Appeal first, not so?
Yeah, Court of Appeal and then Privy Council. And then the Privy Council, with a judgment by Lord Hodge, Lord Lloyd Jones, Lord Kitchen, and Lord Hamblin, handed down a ruling yesterday that suggested that Mr. Warner should pay the money back. Mr. Warner argued that the money was given as a gift. It's nice, friends.
Yeah.
Hey, what $1.5 million, no? There's no scene.
It was a gift, not a loan.
A gift, not a loan.
A gift.
Yeah.
So he says.
Well, that argument is not upheld. Okay? So, and you see, this brings to the fore the issue of campaign finance law in this country. Because without casting any judgment as to financiers in either party, because we know they are big financiers for either major party, they don't give that money just so, right? There's an expectation when they provide financial or other support to political campaigns. I see Philip Alexander has bowed out of active politics.
He says he's done all he can do.
Yeah.
Well, a version of that, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but
That's after he asked for help to pay his bills.
well, and from other news from Tobago, of course.
You're done with that already? You ain't commenting on Philip Alexander bowing out of active politics?
No, I have no comment. The cruise ship came there, and of course there was a problem with the Tobago maxi taxi people. They had tours planned, apparently 300 tours planned.
Mhm.
And the maximum didn't turn up.
And the maximum didn't turn up. Some of them say they're 7-day Adventists, so they don't work on a Saturday.
Well
Some
done, guys.
None.
Some
Well
say they had
done.
maxi taxi problem.
Because
And
those
of course, the
exclusions,
tourism, but then they had a press conference and said they owed money, and they invested because the tour operators told, I think, the THA that let buses come across anytime cruise ships come. Let buses come across as a backup, like 4 or 5 buses from Trinidad.
You want Mr. Augustine to lose his mind.
And to let buses come across.
For them to stay Trinidad,
operate
taking Tobago money.
as a backup so that the tours can take place if maxi taxi drivers
Let them solve their issues, please.
and again. Well, so we will see how all of that turns out. Well, if they can't work on a Saturday and you have cruise ships coming on a Saturday, then that's going to be a problem. That's going to
Come on, tell the cruise ships don't come on a Saturday.
mhm.
Because they only have Adventist bus drivers. Tell the cruise ships don't come on a Saturday. And we feel that
if that's true, if that was a true excuse, then in all respect for people's religion, you have to find an alternative.
Which is fine, but you're trying to make all the maxi drivers are Adventists.
But some of them had mechanical problems, apparently.
Also Adventists and mechanical problems.
Yeah.
So it was a perfect storm. All right.
But that certainly does not look good for the first cruise ship to come into port in the opening of the cruise ship season.
Because the left and the right
excursions-
they're confused and they want to run their own business. Okay.
Yeah, most of those excursions would have been sold on the ship
BBS before.
So Richard wants to go on a cruise. They're going to Tobago. He goes down to reception and says, listen, I want to go and take part in this Bucco Reef or see Charlottesville.
Can we go to Barbados, please?
Money.
We don't have maxi taxi issues in Barbados. Can we go to Barbados, please? Captain, can we rev up the engines and go to Barbados, please? Okay, thank you.
Very possible. Can I read the paper?
Very possible.
Let me
Yes,
go to
please
the
do.
newspapers. Let me go to the
Please do.
newspapers.
Please do.
So I will start with the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday. And of course, let me put on the glasses. Yeah, because I just turned 40. So the Trinidad and Tobago Newsday for today, Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. Let me say happy birthday to my cousin Martin, who's all the way in Vietnam. Happy birthday, Martin. I know today is your birthday, even though I told you already. Criminologists slam government opposition for failure to meet. Get serious about crime talks. Oh my God, certainly. And one of my dear friends, a brother, was shot in St. Anne's. In St. Anne's over the weekend.
Yes.
2 guys were murdered at that bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had just gone there to get something to eat and just got caught up in this. Dead. I mean, it's crazy.
And then there was some shooting in Fifth Street on the avenue.
They said there was police shooting, not so, to deal with some situation. I don't know. But anyway, get serious about crime talks. Pillar of community killed in St. Anne's. Well, that's the same thing I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Franz Levine. And yeah, and so he is the guy I was talking about, Franz Levine. And anyway, Ainsworth Douglas playing football with his daughter Amelie left, his nephew Zachary and nieces Zakiah, Zemia, and Zelaya Douglas. Oh, they have a attraction to the letter Z. At the Botanic Gardens in St. Anne's on Monday. So that's the main picture, which is a picture of joy against, all of the ugliness of crime and what else is going on in this country. And on the back page of the Newsday, Otley Narayan will be difficult to replace, and Sammy tells fans paint town maroon for upcoming England series. Rally round Windies. And of course, on page 21 in the Newsday, at the bottom of the Newsday of the page, you will see an ad for Bacchanal, Bubble, and Bad Behavior, which is on at Sapper, and it's our final 2 performances for 2023. So it's on at Sapper in San Fernando this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at 8:30, Sunday at 6:30. Tickets available at K-Squared Fashions, C3 Center in Gulf City, Fens of Marabella by the Roundabout, and Creme Fresh at Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. Tickets available at the Sapper box office from tomorrow. Daily Express, main headline, Jack must repay $1.5 million loan. Gunmen rob diplomat of vehicle. So that was another story.
I read that. That's horrible.
Yeah. They're keeping the light going. It's a picture of a little girl lighting a deer. And man shot outside Belmont Police Station. That's all on the front page of the Daily Express. On the back page, New Hunger. Coach Furlong praises work ethic of Red Force squad. And Belfon Ash set records as short course swimming ends. So that's it for the front and the back of the Express. Moving on to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. What's on the front page? I'll tell you. Protect your data. Minister urges citizens to take cybersecurity seriously. Says attacks show corporate risks to doing business. Issue can have a devastating impact on public. And of course, this is the Minister of Digital Transformation, Hassel Backus. Of course, we should probably have a conversation with him some point during the week about all of this. Warner ordered to pay $1.5 million after losing lawsuit. And Point Fortin cops seized $3.5 million in ganja. On the back page, Garcia sends USA warning, scores on return from injury. And that's it for the front and back page of the Daily Guardian. The Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. And so now you know. Those are all of our headlines.
All right. Thank you so much, Richie Rich. Of course, that story with the diplomat is unbelievable. All right. Well, let's get the results of our morning poll and come up with this morning's poll. Of course, we asked you on Friday, do you agree the transfer of the PS in the education ministry? That was our poll on Friday. Results are in. Which is 65%. 65%. 65 said yes. All right. This morning's poll, you call us at 222-8255. North Americans, toll-free number 866-525-1099 via YouTube, via our Facebook page, and of course on WhatsApp at 318-1021. We're asking you this morning.
I don't know what poll you wanted to go with.
It's up already.
Do you think these proposed crime talks between the government and the opposition are now dead in the water? Do you think these proposed crime talks between the government and the opposition are now dead in the water? That's our poll this morning. 222-TALK, 222-8255.
Let me tell you why.
North Americans.
I mean, we're laughing at it, eh? I mean, we're making light of it. But it's really a crappy situation, yeah. That people are dying and the police are floundering and guns and drugs coming in. And these people can't put aside the differences to sit down and talk about crime.
Yeah, it's crazy.
While they're doing that, more will die.
Crazy what we are saddled with.
If it wasn't so sad, it would be funny.
Yep. It's tragic. And
It is.
It's so many families affected.
That's an indictment on both sides, quite frankly, on both sides.
So many families affected, and it's like politicians are not treating with it seriously enough.
Yeah. You're not serious. They're really not serious.
So do you think the proposed crime talks between the government and the opposition are now dead in the water? That's our poll. Your voting may begin. 222-TALK, 222-8255 if you're calling in. And of course, for North Americans, if you're calling in, because you can also vote, 866-525-1099, absolutely toll-free. And those on the online, wherever you are, you can send your votes by the comment section on our YouTube stream, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course on our WhatsApp messaging, which is 318-1021.
Good morning, caller.
318-1021.
Good morning, gentlemen. Mr. Pinal here. Answer to the question is yes, dead from the root. Thank you.
Thank you, Pinal. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Sandy Grandi, yes.
All right, Sandy Grandi, thank you. Good morning to Mrs. R, who I bounced up at Nari's on Friday. Beefy Smith, CPT Singh, Alistair Hart, good morning. Arno, Doreen Pierre, Wayne B says yes. CPT Singh says no. Good morning, Karen Yipnow. Troy Marie says yes, dead. Richard Duku certainly looks so, yes. Kazim Mohammed, dead and buried. Josie Richardson, no. Answer to the poll. Yes, Karen, strong as ever. All right, to 222-8255. Let's see. Good morning to Michael in London, England. Good morning to you, Michael. Soverell says no. Soverell says no. Thank you. Via WhatsApp at 318-1021. Beefy Smith says yes, it dead. Alistair Hart says yes to the poll. He says, I don't think either side had it.
It's just so disgusting when you really think about it. At least proper shona, you know?
Yeah.
Proper shona. Jeez.
Yeah. How long has it been now since that letter was sent by the Prime Minister? It's been what, a month? Had to be somewhere around there. All right, 222-8255, toll-free North Americans, 866-525-1099. Do you think the proposed crime talks between the government and the opposition are now dead in the water? Yes or no? All right, tell us, what do you think?
222 talk.
Maraval
222 talk. 81. What?
Maraval on the road says yes. Oh boy. Julia S. Batiste says yes. Carol Guevara, dead as a doornail.
Carol, that prophetic is wake me up, you know. What's the face?
I read it. Three messages.
If you drink more coffee, girl.
I need coffee.
Hmm.
All right. So 222-8255, North Americans, toll free 866-525-1099 via WhatsApp at 318-1021, via Facebook and YouTube, as well as we stream audio and video.
People dying.
Yeah. While they twiddling their thumbs, more people will die. And I keep saying, you know, to me, it looks like nobody cares. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
This is
Good
Trinity.
morning.
Hey, Jam Trini, what's happening?
I am good. My
Lovely.
answer is yes. Cool.
Yes to the poll. All righty, Trini Jam. Are you in the cold or the warmth or the rain?
No, I'm back in Trinidad.
You're in the rain. Thank you. All the best to you.
Bye.
All right. All right. Yeah. And, you know, Karen, you're absolutely right. He said this period into Carnival is going to be real scary. Not only Carnival, Christmas into Carnival is going to be real scary.
Uncle Papa show now. You know, just put up a show on Twitter and go and talk now. If nothing else.
Yeah. Good morning to Third Base, who's locked on. Good morning, Base. What's happening? Hope all is well.
Yes, Carol. Mm-hmm.
Cascade. Good morning, Cascade. Says yes. I see there's a huge water leak on that Cascade Main Road. I couldn't see the lamppost number to call. All right. Yeah. Do you think the proposed crime talks between the government and the opposition are now dead in the water? Dead. Carol said dead as a doornail. You know, this
It's
time
really unfortunate.
people go to get something to eat at a barn, a gunfight.
There's nothing more serious than crime in the country, and these people can't put aside the differences. Who want to know who come in, who bring in who, how much people on your team. Oh, really?
And let me tell you, there's so much crime happening right now with Venezuelans that are not reported. Either they hear illegal, that's not reported.
You mean they're the victims?
Yeah.
There's a lot of exploitation going on, generally. A lot of exploitation.
Yeah, and they're seriously, Paul, definitely with that. All right, we're picking up the other side of 7 o'clock, but right now the ever so gorgeous Evie St. Hill Bab, who types 1,000 words per minute. I actually have video of that. Let's get into our 7 o'clock major news on this, the 14th day of November.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
The Privy Council orders Jack Warner to repay Krishna Lala the sum of over $1.5 million plus interest. Minister of Digital Transformation Hassel Barkas urges people to take cybersecurity seriously. Courts assures its e-commerce customers none of their payment methods and password information was exposed in data leak incident. And the WHO says Gaza's biggest hospital is becoming a cemetery. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril St. Hill Bab. Good morning. The Privy Council has ordered Jack Warner to repay Krishna Lala the sum of $1.5 million plus interest. The judgment arose out of an initial 2018 ruling of High Court Judge Frank Sipasad. Justice Sipasad has ordered Warner to pay the $1.5 million to Lala, a UNC financier at the time, and who claimed the money given to Warner was a loan in the lead up to the 2007 general election campaign. Warner has argued that the money was given as a gift. The matter was heard in the Privy Council on May 15, 2023 by Lord Hodge, Lord Lloyd Jones, Lord Kitchen, Lord Hamblin, and ruling handed down yesterday. Minister of Digital Transformation Hassel Barkas is urging people to take cybersecurity seriously. He said he believes the solution to combating the increase in cyber attacks is sensitizing people on proper security measures. According to Minister Barkas, cyber attacks are not an information and communication technology issue, but rather about corporate risks. In recent months, TSTT, PriceSmart, and Courts have all been attacked by a ransomware group, which resulted in thousands of customers' personal information being exposed, including on the dark web. The Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs was also a victim of a cyber attack back in July. In the TSTT cyber breach, which occurred on October 9th, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's personal information was shared on the dark web. Barkas told Guardian Media yesterday that his ministry is not silent about the increase in cyber attacks across the country, but has been working to educate several sectors of society about protecting data. Meanwhile, regional cybersecurity websites say PriceSmart and Courts Caribbean's online shopping website, Shop Courts, have been hacked. Courts is assuring its e-commerce customers none of their payment methods, that is, credit cards and password information, was exposed in data leak incidents from the previous e-commerce platform. It explained that in September 2023, it replaced its e-commerce platform with a new one that enforces the measures and strengthens security levels accordingly to have a secure platform without any data breach. The company said the leakage did not impact customers who did not shop on its e-commerce platform. Maxi taxi operators in Tobago want outstanding money owed to them by a cruise ship agent to be paid. They are calling for a meeting with the Tobago House of Assembly Tourism Secretary Tashia Burris. At a news briefing on Monday, President of the Tobago Maxi Taxi Association, Cloyd Williams, said some operators did not turn up to transport cruise ship passengers on board Celebrity Silhouette, which arrived on the Sister Isle on Saturday due to religious reasons. The situation resulted in the cancellation of tours for visitors.
The reason why drivers weren't available. One, on weekends, we have the challenge of many folks are committed to their religious group that both Sunday and Saturdays. But even apart from that, it's not a new story.
However, Mr. Williams assured the drivers are still committed to the tourism industry.
I want you to know and the world to know that we are committed to the tourism trust. We are interested in building this little space of Tobago, and we believe that in striking does not solve problem, but meeting and discuss the issues.
Meanwhile, Secretary of the Association, Norton Roberts, called for monies owed to the maxi taxi operators to be paid as soon as possible.
For the last season, he owes $2,001. For the season ended 2019, before COVID, he's owed us $78,546.54. So we put that together, he's owed us $80,000 plus. Before the season started, as Secretary pointed out to Mr. Cavallo, this bill is to be paid. He said to me, don't talk about that now. I said, but we must talk about it because it's money owing to the association. The members know and they need to get paid. We'll see to that when the season, during the season. I said, Mr. Cavallo, you promised us last season that you're going to pay out all the bills by the end of the season. The season ended and you still owe us this amount of money. What do we do?
A prison officer's car was destroyed by fire on Monday morning. The 26-year-old officer of Couva was at his girlfriend's Laventille home when at around 12:05 a.m. today, the $45,000 white Nissan Tida he had secured 3 hours earlier at the side of the roadway was seen on fire. The prison officer made the discovery after he heard a loud sound. His wallet, which contained his work identification card, driver's permit, his national identification card, and bank card were also destroyed in the vehicle. The cause of the fire is undetermined, and Constable Cuffey is continuing investigations into the incident. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. The World Health Organization warns Gaza's biggest hospital, Al-Shifa, is nearly a cemetery with bodies piling up inside and outside. A United Nations spokesperson says dozens of premature babies and 45 kidney patients needing dialysis cannot be treated properly due to a lack of power. Fighting has been raging close to the hospital in Gaza City in recent days, with several fuel shortages affecting treatment. More details in this Channel 4 News report. Well, finally, here is weather news for the period today until midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, partly cloudy conditions with light to moderate showers and the medium chance of a few heavy showers and thunderstorms. Nighttime will be mostly fair despite a few brief showers. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding are possible near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Look out for a forecast, a maximum temperature of 32 degrees Celsius, both at Piarco International Airport and Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it is 25 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 27 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, the Privy Council has ordered Jack Warner to repay Krishna Lala the sum of $1.5 million plus interest. Minister of Digital Transformation Hassel Barkas urges people to take cybersecurity seriously. Courts assures its e-commerce customers none of their payment methods and passport information was exposed in data leak incident. And the WHO says Gaza's biggest hospital is becoming a cemetery. I'm Avril Sintel-Bab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail coming up at 12 noon today and an update at 8 this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you so much, Avril, for our major news at 7. Of course, you'll join her again at 8 o'clock for our news brief. All right. Quickly, let's look at what's happening on the highways and on the byways at this time. It's peak. So let's see. Let's start down San Fernando. Oh, you lighter than usual. I will tell you that. As you head northbound, just after the creek, you're going to have some traffic on South Trunk Road. Lady Hills Avenue is a busy spot this morning. Golconda Connector Road is busy. Going through Cookie, Taruba, Link Road, heading towards Marabella Roundabout there this morning. Heading north on Rivulet Road in Couva and Point Lisa. So you got traffic. You're going to get traffic starting from there, from Couva. Heading up towards Sugargonas and then traffic again from Sugargonas straight up towards the interchange. Chin Chin Road to Ibis Gardens, you're busy. Kelly Village, they're back at the airport. Ibis Gardens towards QREP, you've got some traffic. Piarco to Yui, Curep, the Port of Spain, Eastern Main Road, usual spots. They kind of stop and go. It's going to ease up yeah, it's going to ease up a little bit, but it'll speed up and slow down, speed up, slow down. Good up Lady Young Road out of Maraval. Very, very heavy. And out to Diego Martin as well. All right. As Evie said, it's 25 degrees at Piarco, 27 at Crown Point in Tobago. And of course, our poll this morning is, do you think the proposed crime talks between the government and the opposition now dead in the water? That was our poll. Let me check to see if I have any more votes coming in. I've got someone, Miss Bonnet West says yes. Let's see. Okay, that's the only vote I have.
Well, we had 17 people voting in the allotted time. Of the 17 people, 14 of you said, yes, you think the crime talks are now dead in the water. 14 of you said yes to the poll, and 3 of you said no. Of course, you can continue to vote on this poll throughout the day, through all programming, and we give you the final results tomorrow morning, which will be Wednesday, and also midweek of the short week since we had a holiday yesterday.
All for show. All for show, sadly. Big people. Big people, yeah. Big people. Grown people. I don't know. It's so depressing and uninspired behavior. Uninspired behavior, to say the least. That they can't, put aside the differences for 3 hours and say let's meet and talk. And I've said it before, and I think one of the first missteps in this crime talk issue was the Prime Minister opting out and putting the Attorney General to chair the crime talks. I just don't understand that rationale. Crime is the most important thing facing the country, and the Prime Minister is the head of the cabinet, first of all, you understand? Which is the executive of the country and the head of the National Security Council. I mean, there's a reason why Dr. Rowley doesn't want to chair it say, but I don't understand.
There should just be an aggressive front on dealing with this whole crime situation. That's a united, aggressive front. But simply the words, not here. That's it. Not here.
But there have to be mechanisms in place to enforce not here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Have the aggressive front, but have an entire marketing approach, because that a psychological marketing approach also affects it. When you say not here,
I thought
you have to back it up, yes.
An opportunity, because in Parliament there's a particular framework that they operate under in Parliament, whether it's the upper or the lower house, and the Parliament is where you make or amend law to deal with crime and everything else, right? And that has its place, obviously, a very critical and important place. But the crime talks may have been an opportunity to find common ground to go back to Parliament. You understand? Without the glare of the cameras, without the theatrics of it, without the whatever that happens in it that doesn't seem to be able to resolve the issue at hand, because that is there. So it can't be that is something about that is not facilitating what we need to make the kind of progress we want to make. So the talks were an opportunity for the heads of both parties. And part
of it is, Paul, how urgent do you think the situation is?
Well, it's extremely urgent.
Well, one would think so. The rest of the country certainly thinks so.
The criminal don't say
politicians don't seem to think so.
Never see a party card, you know.
No.
You know that? Or whether you have a red or yellow t-shirt or a blue or green t-shirt. And that's my issue. Out of Parliament, behind closed doors, with, as you said, a set agenda. They could sit down and say no and let that cost one another, do everything inside that room. But at the end of the day, you come out with a 4-point plan we're going to do. We have agreed that we're going to either go back to Parliament and change these laws and change them in this way that we both agree on, or you can't really, the way Parliament operates, sometimes they have to put on the show, quite frankly, or they have basic policy differences or different ideas on how to approach it. But come to some commonality and 4 or 5 main points that they can, on one hand, 2 of those could be legislative fixes or amendments, and 3 could be ideas they've exchanged operationally. You understand? And have a joint press conference with the Prime Minister and the opposition leader. And they say, we have agreed on this or these. And we will come back in 6 months to talk in this way again and see how those mechanisms have worked or not. But apparently not. Apparently we are reaching for the stars here.
But gentlemen, it's been September 16th is when the Prime Minister sent the letter. That's 59 days ago.
And that comes back to my urgent,
59.
how urgent is this? Or how urgent do you see this? Because those crime talks, even if you send a letter, it should be let us convene within 4 days or 2 days.
One would think.
Because that's how urgent we on the ground see it.
I just cannot understand it, but I guess I'm politically naive. Has to be that my objective is devoid of the political grandstanding and agendas that may be inherent in the system. Because I just see one objective here: reduce crime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? I see no other objective. I don't care. Party succeed, party fail, whatever. Reduce crime.
That's it. 59 days and nothing yet. How many people have been killed within the last 59 days?
612-825-5.
Which you're right. Within 4 days.
Now, which is 868-318-1021. 868-318-1021. Y'all can call now. Maybe you can explain it to me, but I don't understand it at all.
Yeah. Got some calls coming. Good morning.
Good morning to the Power family. Good morning to the Power.
Morning, pal. What's going on?
In regards to the crime talk, you guys have a second. You know, in my head, my opinion, is this like the opposition just do not respect the current government that is there. Why I'm saying that? Even though they said 2 heads come together to have the talk, the current government is sitting in office. They set up the strategy of how we want to meet. Whether the Prime Minister wants to take it, whether the Prime Minister wants to take his time to sit as part of the cabinet or part of the body that's coming together, he says, hey, one of my people is going to chair it. We're going to do 4 people here and 4 people there. Everybody who's coming together is for government. Is there something so difficult to even try and have a start to get that done? What is so difficult? Even if they were sitting in Parliament and every bill that comes up, the opposition rejects. They want to have a discussion, everybody wants to reject. It's not blaming the government, and I'm not blaming the people. Right now, my blame, yes, I'm putting it towards the opposition. Hey, show the people that you're willing to come to the table. Don't come to the table and then you're coming to the table with demands of what you have to do, and it's supposed to happen this way. That's just my opinion and just my take on it. They just don't want to budge, and they don't want this thing to happen. All right? You guys stay safe.
All right, buddy. Thank you. 222-8255. Toll-free number for North Americans, 866-525-1099. Of course, on WhatsApp at 318-1021. Send us a message via YouTube and Facebook. All right? Someone sent us a message here. Question, is the UNC to blame for that?
So we're taking your calls, 222 Talk, 222-8255, North Americans, 866-525-1099. This is your opportunity to be interactive. Unfortunately, we're talking crime because it's just all-encompassing, because it's just everywhere. as I said, my friend's brother went to get something to eat in St. Anne's, and now he's dead. I seen the papers this morning.
Oh, he's one that got shot. You know, I didn't realize that he was shot.
Yep.
Simple thing like that, Richard.
He was
Just
shot and
going,
killed.
which we all do, go into some place to get something to eat. And you're killed.
Just because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I don't even know how parents in Trinidad and Tobago today survive their children going out to wherever.
Many of the ones I know,
they must be just
their
anxious.
children abroad just for that peace of mind.
Yeah, because they have to be anxious. If you say, I'm going out on the average
Just for that peace of mind.
with friends, you have to be anxious until they come back home.
They get great. Good morning, caller.
Hey, morning, Raghubal Singh for the Chelsea.
Morning.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Some them are just sitting and I was listening to conversations and my mind will be running in a kind of direction. We have war on the ground and we have war in the parliament. You understand? The minute two people can come together and have a discussion concerning a matter, I consider that a war. So here what's going on now. The government had to find a way on their own to deal with the situation because the opposition said they ain't coming to the table. What next? What next? Because in the end of the day, we waiting. Man now say 50-something days. A man write a letter having to have a discussion with somebody. And up to now, they can't have a discussion.
59 days till today.
59 days. That is 3 months ago. Right? No. I want to serve notice to Wasa. Wasa, Arima, people had no water for 5 weeks. I was in Malabar the other day. The people water tanks finished. It had these water companies in Trinidad and Tobago making big money, selling water tanks and water pump and all kind of things. So like we had to take Wasa to court now. Like that is only alternative because if you're getting service and you're paying money, that's not robbery.
Well, Mr. Patrick.
That's
because when we spoke to Marvin Gonzalez, he said that the Hollis Reservoir was less than average in terms of the amount of water that it has. I don't know if that has now changed because there has been a lot of rain.
For the longest while, I talk about people in Malabar get water for the longest while.
Yeah, but that I don't know. This issue with the Hollis Reservoir is what he's saying is at the crux of the problem. But I don't know if over the last week or 2 weeks enough rain has now fallen to rectify that situation. In addition to which, they're pulling water from other sources like Guanapo and other places, which also feeds into Arima. This within the context that many parts of Arima don't get a 24/7 water supply.
Yeah, but
but the city center of Arima does not get a 24/7 water supply. And this is, and as I told somebody from Wasa over the weekend, this is a generational issue. This is the city center of Arima. You have water trucks stopping to drop water for restaurants and bars, etc. And you see water trucks delivering water.
Imagine when my mother died in 2019, we had to call water truck to bring water to full Tango Mary. Because there are no water and there are people coming for wake and kind of thing. And up to now, they can't rectify that problem and pay water.
But I'm telling you, but when my sister was here in 2019, and she hasn't been here for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And they
I never hear Richard cuss so much.
And my brother-in-law said that's not good, that over 30 years, a problem that you have like that in a country has not been resolved in a particular area.
A country that's
some rebate from Wasa, all the people who purchased water tank and water pump from this company, Wasa supposed to give back some rebate or something. I think when you produce a resistor. Because water tank gone up, water pump gone up, everything gone up.
You're right about that.
and you're not getting water. So what we really do today that you can't talk about crime, you can't talk about water, you can't talk about tea and tech, you can't talk about road. What goes on there?
I don't know. It's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Have a
That was
pleasure.
the situation, but the
I
RIC,
remember when your
RIC
sister
should just
Nyla
go
came in,
out with their
Richard.
thoughts and think about increasing the rates for WASA.
Yeah, I remember when your sister Nyla came
That would be an
to visit
uproar. Because
with
people
her
don't
family.
get it.
And the entire trip, which she stayed by you, the entire trip, she had no water.
Yes.
I never hear you cuss so much in my life.
It was embarrassing. It wasn't even embarrassing. It was embarrassing on many levels.
Yes.
From a country perspective, it was embarrassing. And from a home perspective, it was embarrassing.
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, pal.
Well, I have tried to make my house function. I have 7,800 gallons of storage because I want to be like you can create these islands of difference, and I've spent a ton of money on that over the years, and it seems to be working. But a man like me have to be monitoring when water comes and when it goes and when this and when that.
How was the level of the tank?
You want to use the brain power of people who spent many years upgrading themselves. Not just me, There's lots of people inside of here and all over the place, all over Trinidad. A man like Patrick, for example, he's involved in business and whatnot. And he has to be worried about if there's going to be water. So you see, you have these things that drag you down. It's like if you have an ailment, you have been declared medically unfit because of this ailment, you can't perform. Now, on the crime front, I did not think that these talks would help, and therefore, it's no skin off my back, as they say. And Paul is taking the position, well, we could go through with that and give some comfort to some people. I don't give comfort. The absence of some blows is comfort enough. I take the position that the crime talk is really a matter for the experts. And there's all kinds of experts that get money, and there's all kinds of appointments, and we have a system in place that the judiciary, for example, and the whole prison system, and then all of the social services, and the police needs to get their implements and whatnot, all their tools and equipment, and they need training and proper promotion and recruitment and all the various things that would make a difference. I mean, if they want to know what to do, right? What have people been saying all these years? Just deal with about half of that, and you'll make some progress. This idea of politicians getting together, people who belong to safe seats in safe political parties, and can therefore get elected, they could behave like this. They are in safe seats, and they are safely positioned where they are. And they could behave like this, and that's why they're doing it. But in any case, it wasn't going to solve anything. I just outlined what I thought would be important. And the government could move on that with or without the opposition. Governments, past and present, could do that with and without the opposition largely. There might be a little here and there, right? But there's a whole ton of that you could get without the opposition. Thank you.
So we're taking your calls, 222 Talk, 222-8255. North Americans, 866-525-1099. People on the web and the app, you could send your messages via the comment section on YouTube stream, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course via the WhatsApp 318-1021. I see Kyle Guevara says that, trust me, guys, it's terrifying. When my daughter goes out, I'm unable to sleep until she's back.
We're going to have a regional, somebody from Caribbean Impacts Cybersecurity Division on hopefully tomorrow, at latest Thursday, to talk about what people should be doing regarding their digital safety.
Oh, wonderful.
And how often you should change your passwords, the type of encryption you should have, and he's hopefully going to simplify it so that, because most people just get frustrated by having to do these things often, but now you have to, if you want to maintain some level of security in terms of your digital domain. And we all have some sort of digital footprint, whether we want to realize email, bank information, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to NFM. NFM's revenues increased by 16%.
Okay.
And to 431 million, which is good. A good thing. NFM has been one of those state agencies that's been quite successful over many years. They should take the board of NFM and put it in Lake Asphalt to run there too. And possibly TSTT. Too much? Gunmen rob diplomat of vehicle. A German diplomat with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and the person she was with at the time were robbed by armed bandits on Sunday night. The incident took place around 8:50 p.m. while the diplomat, 43-year-old Miriam Attica, and the other victim, Jerus Mohammed, 38, were in a silver Hyundai Tucson, driving on Frederick Street in Curepe. Reports say they were driving behind a white Nissan Tida, which suddenly stopped, and 4 masked men jumped out. They were armed with firearms. I read that. Let me tell you what happened to me last night, coming from the airport. And that's how paranoid we are. Coming down the airport, nobody McCoy turned over there to come onto the Eastern Main Road from the airport, from east. I was turned on to that exit lane. And a car stopped in front of me. And one of the occupants came out of the front passenger seat and stood in the back of the car. And I went into an anxiety frenzy. Because you're stuck in that lane now. And apparently he just came out to stretch,
So the car in front of you, he came out of the car, went to the back of the car just to stretch.
Yeah, but he came out of the car in that area at 6:30, 6:45. So it's dark, and you understand? So I'm saying, am I going to be robbed? You understand?
You see, that is why. Yeah, that is why when I
stood up, and then he started to stretch, and even while he was stretching, I'm saying, is this a plan? You understand?
You don't know.
And then he went back into the car, and my heart rate went back down. Why are we living like this?
Yeah. And that's why when I come to, let's say, traffic or a traffic light, I don't go right up to the person's bumper, I leave enough room that I can swing left or swing right.
Bumper, but there was traffic zooming down the left side going down the road. We turned off onto the exit to turn into McCoy. You understand? I didn't plan already. He pulled out a gun. I was running him straight into the car.
Yeah.
You understand? Or pull the car to the right and ram him into the barrier in the middle. My brain already went there. And that's what you have to be thinking in this country. Fortunately, he was really stretching. He went back into the car. But I mean, that's why you have to be thinking
just
like
don't
that.
know why we have to live this.
That story that you were just reading is indicative of why you think that way. But you didn't finish it.
Let me go down. So the police said the bandits relieved. So they came out of the car. Because the Tida stopped in front and them forcing the Tucson they were driving into stop. The men came out, 2 of them had guns, pointed the guns at the people in the car. They gave them their cell phones, cash, and the handbag. $55,000 worth of stuff. And they went off, and then they went to St. Joseph police station to report it. The officers found the cellular phone and the wallet in the vehicle, and the handbag belonging to Arca was now recovered. They found the vehicle, which was stolen in Bamboo Drive, Sharply. And so you can't even stop on the road now. You understand?
If you all don't know where Frederick Street is in Curepe, it is the one, if you want to go to the back of La Jolla to the parking lot, you have to take that road, if that makes sense to you. It's the one parallel to Riverside Road on the western side.
Which one is Frederick Street in Europe?
Yeah, that as I just said, if so let's say you're heading east and you pass the St. Joseph Bridge. Right, there's a Burger King at the corner. That's Frederick Street.
Okay.
When you turn left, so if you want to go back around, you have to go on Frederick Street. I think that's Stella Street, and then you come onto Riverside back onto the main road. So it's if you're going to the back of La Jolla to park your car. That's
right. Or if you're going to if you go up there, you could turn right and
make the U.
And make the whole U.
Yeah.
To come back down.
Yeah. But that story is absolute madness. And I mean, why? I mean, I would have, if I was Paul in that situation, I would be paranoid. He said about the gas station.
And there was a slight drizzle too. So I'm saying, what the hell going on here, boy? You understand?
You have to be so.
I just look at my left. If I can come out suddenly, if he pulls out a gun, or if I had to run into this man, if he pulls out a gun and jam in between two cars, because I'm saying this is such an odd situation, you know. So he came to the back of the car in front of me and started to stretch, and then I went back into the car. So I just
it is, you know, you come to a traffic light, you have to look at the rearview mirror, look at both side mirrors, see if anybody coming, you stop anywhere.
Yep.
No, why? 59 days has gone since they wanted to have the letter was sent for crime talks. 59. How many people have died in that 59 days? I don't know. But why is the citizenry of Trinidad and Tobago, why are we living in this sort of fear?
Why are they engaged in the blame game?
Meanwhile, shootout outside police station. Belmont Police Station. Richard Friends decided what we have all done at some point in time in our lives. Go somewhere to get something to eat. Minding his own business.
He's dead today.
Affairs, and he's dead. That could be any one of us.
Hopefully not.
People like to lime on the avenue. People are getting killed on the avenue. You know, cruise ship season now started. The first ship comes to port. Excursions booked. No maxi taxis.
I'm trying to get a little video to put a little levity in the morning. Here is a video I saw on TikTok with a teacher teaching a young man to spell. And he said B-A-T, bat, C-A-T, cat, R-A-T, manicure.
Let's grab this call. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning. Gentlemen, yeah, I quite agree. 59 years have gone. But in our lifetime, this government has met the opposition several times on crime matters that never brought any fruit. My suggestion would be, and I think it's a reasonable and simple one, why not government and opposition agree on a certain legislation? If it doesn't work, we come back to the parliament in 6 months and amend it and try another way out. Because these crime talks have had 3 times with the Prime Minister and the opposition, and it never bore any fruit. Yeah, 15 days have really gone. Let's try something else. Politicians go to the parliament, try make for legislation, and if it doesn't work in these 6 months, we try another one. Jamaica has just submitted their crime bill. If you are fined with an illegal gun, you might be sent to life imprisonment. I mean, talks never working. I mean, among politicians and government and politicians in the Caribbean, never, because the opposition wants to say the government will have it. Have a great day, gentlemen, and listen. God bless you guys, and God bless you from Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, New York, thank you. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. From rainy Orlando.
Hey, Ray in Orlando, what's happening?
Yeah, listen, I'm listening to you guys here. First of all, Paul, I'm happy that you're okay and nothing got the same out of it. But what we do here and even the DMV has started teaching us something called defensive driving. You never, first of all, when you stop at a traffic light or anytime behind another vehicle, you stop to a distance where you must see below the bumper of the car in front of you.
No, I did, you know. I was actually about 10 feet from the car in front of me. I didn't go right up on the car.
Great. So then that's the best option you said. I like what you said. Anybody does that here with me, I'm driving right into them. So both of us going down. You know? So that's a good attitude to have. Self-defense and defensive driving. Right? Because he is not going to go anywhere and you'll have the gun for evidence. So you have to defend yourself by all means. Okay, and the water situation, you know, I heard what you said about the family. 3 years here, let me tell you something. We left Trinidad in 1980. That's over 43 years ago, right? And the water situation was always like that way back when I can remember. Understand? Back in the 70s. So I believe, I always want to believe that it seems like politics are involved in the water situation. So maybe they need to try either partially or 100% privatizing water, and they tax them and see some of the because people seem to be sabotaging the situation. That's what I do. Because I cannot understand. Little Trinidad had this problem for so long and tell me can't be fixed.
Somebody can correct me, and you may remember, sir. At one point, Wassa was jointly managed by a company called Severn Trent. Wasn't that so?
Yes.
And it was actually moving toward efficiency. Am I wrong? Huh?
Nope.
I remember Severn Trent jointly managing Wassa. They brought in Severn Trent, Severn Trent, whatever its name is. And they restructured Wassa, and Wassa was actually moving toward a point of efficiency. And then the contract ended, some government change, and it's back to square one. Am I wrong?
None of that happened, yes.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. Tell you. Never a dull moment. R-A-T. Manico. 222 talk, but let me see if he come back. Because he just leaves just like that. Maybe he had an emergency. 222-8255, 612-8255. And if you want a direct message on WhatsApp, 868-318-1010. No, is it? 1021. 868-318-1021 for direct message.
Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning to the Breakfast Crew.
Morning.
Yes,
Morning, Leonard.
No, it's Anthony. Yes, until we change the concept of party politics to people politics, there's no moving forward. The citizenry should always come first. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I enjoy this program.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, nobody in call and talk about Bill yet, buddy. The regulars ain't listening this morning or not? Guys, you fixed everything. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Morning.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
I was just listening to Paul about Severn Trent. Yes, I'm an ex-employee, and that really happened. And systems were put in place to increase efficiency. But when the government changed, things went back to normal.
Yep.
All right.
You're fading in and out, so could you speak closer to the phone, please?
We lost him.
Nothing hands
Yeah,
free?
we lost him.
Yeah, I remember that Seven Trent thing, and because I had friends working there, and they cleaned up Wassa and they restructured Wassa, and Wassa was moving to a state of efficiency, and people were getting water. It wasn't 100% yet, but we were moving in the right direction. And then a government change, and bam, back to bloated staff, back to unnecessary management size, back to inefficient structures, and back to corruption and nepotism and giving jobs to people who are incompetent and la-da-dee. Back to normal.
Morning, caller. Good morning. Going once.
Hello,
twice.
caller.
Are you still going though?
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi. I'm on the outside looking in. So usually people on the outside usually have a better picture. And everyone seems to think that is legislation going to correct crime in Trinidad. Okay? I have to give where I live. I'm going to have 33 years in New York, okay? And when there's a hot spot or something, the commissioner of police in New York and the mayor, they would get together and they come up with some idea. Well, listen, either we put more police here, or we come up with a different plan. We put one of those mobile stations or something. They don't need legislation for this, okay? Randolph Burroughs did not need legislation to correct crime. He had the things under control. He didn't need legislation.
Well, that's a whole different conversation, eh?
Excuse me?
Randolph Burroughs, he might want the coach.
All right. Okay. All right. Anyhow, I don't think it's a problem. They keep blaming the opposition. I don't back the opposition, but they keep blaming the opposition. The radios, every time something dramatic happens, talk about it for 2 days, for a day, 5 days it died down. They come and talk another 5 days. Next 5 days something happens. It's a big hullabaloo. We talk about crime again, and we go change to something else. Then they come and talk about crime again. It's time for the people of Trinidad to be able to realize that it's not changing. What is if you do the same thing over and over, you get the same result. It is not changing. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. So it's time. I think it's time for people of Tobago to start thinking and do something different. To get a different response from the government for them to take action on crime. That's my thought process, gentlemen. Have a beautiful day.
Thanks, big guys.
Thank you.
All the best here. 222-8255. Toll free North Americans 866-525-1099 on WhatsApp at 318-1021 via Facebook and YouTube. All right.
And I agree with the corner. Legislation is not going to fix the panacea. We have to. What is it? Paul, this is DS Lips Celeste. Paul know very well, but he's so plain biased. I see you, Paul. Well, let the opposition go, but no social ain't going. Pass legislation, at least try it. That's my response to that. I want you to go back and see how effective Bail Bill was when it was active, madam or mister.
Good morning.
Sorry. That is Mrs. Ara.
Hello.
Hi.
Gentlemen.
After strips.
In relation to the crime problem, one solution, if implemented, could put a dent in crime. That is, trying a case within 6 months and convicting the person who is guilty. A simple situation again. We're not talking about anybody being framed or you catch someone with a gun. You have the camera, you have all the evidence this man was a gun. Nobody then stand You catch them in the act of committing a crime. And you want to tell me 3 years, 4 years, the matter can't end? If that matter was to end in 6 months, that would put a serious dent in crime. That is one solution if implemented. And to Paul, the government that was touting water for all by 2000 is the one that scrapped Seven Trent
I know, I'm aware.
implementation.
I'm aware.
And also, a union is a good thing, eh? And take my word for it. I was there. I listened to Leroy Batiste talk when they picketed his office and talk about people have no right to come there and the workers this and that and things. When they wanted to get rid of Jennifer Batiste, I was in Wassa at the time. They almost beat that woman out of the car park in Wassa. And he was leading the charge with Watson Joke. So I just find these guys have no right to come on the air and talk nonsense for people, especially those who know people who know what they're doing and things. I find they should keep quiet and things. And everything you hear I say concerning them, I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. I was looking at it. Thanks for your time.
Alrighty. Have a good one. Good morning.
Hi, good morning once again, gentlemen.
Morning, Neo.
Respect to the view from Big Guy, but I mean, if you need to solve a solution, I mean, legally in a country, it has to take laws to do that. I mean, I don't know how else you can do that, how else you can solve a crime situation if you don't pass laws to fix it. So, I mean, I beg to differ. I mean, I respect his view, but I just beg to differ. Good morning. Thank you.
The woman have it coming.
All right. Of course, a reminder of our morning poll once again.
This is our blanket a little closer.
Do you think the proposals between the government and the oppositions are now dead in the water? Yes or no? That's our morning poll. Of course, it's going to stay up until tomorrow morning when we give you the final results. All right. So by the time we'll take a couple of calls, 222-8255, toll free North Americans, 866-525-1099.
So we're taking your calls. You heard the numbers. I mean, the crime situation. It's something we're talking about this morning because of, several incidents that happened over the weekend. And generally about where the crime situation is in Trinidad and Tobago. And how do we resolve it? It's always depressing to talk about it. It's frustrating. It's something like I was telling my, I was telling somebody recently who's younger, 20, 21. And I said, y'all shouldn't have to be experiencing all of the issues of crime that's now that's now so enveloping this country. It should not be something that the generation coming up should have to deal with. And that's the generation that's in a kind of ways on the front line, because they're the ones that are going out more in terms of hanging out in these places where, these random acts could happen in these bars and, wherever it is. And that can't, and the issue is it can't stop you because you have to live your life. You still have to live your life. You still have to go out and enjoy your life and whatever it is that you fancy, whether it be food or liming at a bar. It's part of who we are. We are social beings.
I don't know, shenanigans are too much.
And we can't let crime win in that sense. But it's just a blot on the landscape. And it is the responsibility of the people who sit in that red house to put in the measures to cure this problem. That's where the responsibility lies. You could be on what other side of the fence? Whether you're red, whether you're yellow, whether you're blue, purple, or green, the red house and those members who sit in it is where the responsibility ultimately lies for solving the problems that we as everyday people encounter on the streets. They're the ones who are empowered to put those measures in place.
On another topic, Trinidadians, sometimes I wonder why their minds, some Trinidadians, let me say, are so warped. There's a picture of two young men who are part of the national water polo team who took a photo after they won a match. I think one was the goalkeeper in a t-shirt and a pair of swimming trunks. And is the asinine, disgusting comments that coming out of a simple picture of two positive young people celebrating the victory on behalf of the country. Or they should have put on pants before they take the picture. I mean, you know, water already finds its own level, You understand?
So they're in a t-shirt and the swim trunks, right?
Yeah. And it's to see the comments.
People have nothing to do, the board.
I'm saying, really? And they're holding the medal there? In other words, we just won for you all.
No, 25%. Remember, psychiatrists generally say, in terms of the studies, 25% of the country has some sort of mental illness. That 25%, all of them online. That is what I've come. That is my conclusion. That the 25% that they're talking about, they are all online. All online. And they're online.
Look at these comments.
They're online all
What
the time.
is the simplest celebratory picture? And all kind of memes with these two young people who
I haven't
just
seen
win
anything.
medals.
I haven't seen anything, but that's just ridiculous.
You all have a wonderful day. Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And Merry Christmas. Season's greetings.
Yes, as we zoom towards Christmas.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what's a great stress
41
reliever?
days. 41 days to Christmas.
You know what's a great stress reliever and healthy for you at the same time? Laughter. And there'll be lots of laughter at Supper this weekend. It's our final two shows of the play. And it's our final two shows actually for 2023 that will be taking place at the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts this weekend. Saturday at 8:30 and Sunday at 6:30. Bacchanal, Bubble, and Bad Behavior. If you were to go on RSRR Productions theater page and look at any of the comments under that show, you're going to see people saying, some saying it's the best show they've seen in a while. Some saying it's brilliant. Some saying they haven't laughed so loud and so hard in so long. I tell you, sometimes people come backstage and there's still tears in their eyes. They were laughing so much. And they come backstage laughing. It is that funny. Trust me, it is that funny. Bacchanal, Bubble, and Bad Behavior. You should not miss it. It's our final two shows. And it is a stress reliever. People also come back and say, this is what I needed. I needed to laugh. And they said, oh my God, they had such a great time. But you can just look at the comments and see for yourself on RSRR Productions theater page, which can tell you also how to purchase tickets online. Of course, tickets available at K Squared Fashions at C3 Center and Gulf City, Fans of Marabella by the Roundabout, and Brentwood Mall in Chagonas at Creme Fresh. And of course, tickets are also going to be available from tomorrow at the box office at Sapa from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. But at the outlets, they've been available since last week, and tickets are already selling. So look at page 21 on the news today. You'll see the ad at the bottom of the page. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do. And remember to smile and laugh. It is fantastic for your health and for the state of your mind. Have a great one. And thanks to all of our viewers and listeners and all of the people who take time to comment on our stream. We appreciate all of you. Have a great one.
All right, Rich. Thank you so much, Paul. Have a good one yourself. All right. Of course, I'll open up lines again next hour. Well, the other side of 8 o'clock after traffic and weather. Play some music as well. But right now, let's get into our news brief if he is in.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.